Hi there, and welcome back to the channel. I'll try to be a bit calmer today. Just sort of share formations with you and try not to get personally involved. Tough to do, but it can be done. First thing I want to do is read you a quote from President Woodrow Wilson. And maybe some of you will know what he's referring to in this quote. This was, I think, on his deathbed. I am a most unhappy man. I have unwittingly ruined my country. No longer a government by free opinion, no longer a government by conviction and the vote of the majority, but a government by the opinion and duress of a small group of dominant men. What he was referring to was allowing the Federal Reserve Act of 1913 to be passed. That was extremely important in our history. From that point on, the Federal Reserve Bank could then loan fiat money to, could loan paper money to the federal government, and the federal government could only pay back the interest in gold. And so our government has to pay back in gold, but all they get is paper money. And this really gave a lot of control to private people, very, very wealthy private people, to a fairly high degree, of our country. And obviously, he mentioned it right there. How this came about was order out of chaos, so to speak. It's alleged that J.P. Morgan and some other bankers started a rumor that some of the small banks were failing. Consequently, a bunch of citizens ran out and took their money out because they thought their bank was going to be insolvent as well, which caused them all to crash. And then they approached Wilson, who I think was running for president at the time, and he said, no way am I giving a private corporation, really foreign, some of these are foreign bankers, that much control over my country. And then they created this crisis, and he signed it. And as you can see, he regretted it vehemently. So things are changing again. Again, you had 1913, then you had 1933, right? I went over that with my last video, House Joint Resolution 192, where it went a step further in with their control to a large degree. All of our money and property and our past and future labors were hypothecated to the Federal Reserve to pay back a loan or settle some sort of contractual obligation in this bankruptcy. That one was super bad, right? And then you had 1971, when and then in 1933, once they confiscated all of the gold and gave everybody, I think it was $20 an ounce, or $30 an ounce. As soon as it was all taken away, they immediately set the price like 67% higher. So all of the people that had to turn it in or be faced with fines, $10,000 fines and imprisonment, they got screwed out of all that money, right? So that was another huge wealth transfer. And then in 1971, Nixon took the dollar off of the gold standard. Well, now they can just print and print and print and print and print. It's not pegged to anything except oil. We won't go into what happened with Kissinger and a Saudi prince in 1974, where they set up the petrodollar. So it's backed by oil, so to speak. Now we have another crisis. And if you hear statements from people of, the likes that go to Davos or are invited to meetings where folks like the term Bilderberger, where they meet these type of people that are privy to this, they now want to go to a cashless society, and they want to destroy the physical fiat currency, and they want to go to a digital currency, completely digital. And it was in March 2020. One of the representatives offered up the Banking for All Act, and that was going to a digital dollar. And the scary thing about a digital dollar is that if it can be turned off, if that happens, how do you get stuff? How do you get food? How do you get, that's real important, They're very, very important. That's something people should, think about in a visceral way, of the ramifications if that was the case, right? And then the House Majority Leader also proposed they call it the Taking Responsibility for Workers and Families Act, where they wanted to give a digital wallet to people, for homeless people, and this type of thing, right? Well, I don't know a whole lot about cryptocurrency. I've been researching it, as a dunce for a few years, dabbled a little bit, not that I have really any money. And, I can tell you this, I don't know how to operate a Ledger Nano. I don't know how to operate a hard wallet. I've never even seen one in person. I only dealt with Coinbase. And so, you tell me how a homeless person, they're going to have a digital hard wallet? Are you freaking kidding me? And so the reason I bring that up is because of the patent that Microsoft is trying to get, or got, I don't know, okay? And it's ID 2020. Digital ID with vaccines that have a digital dollar wallet that go into your body. Now, you would be able to transact. I mean, it sounds great, other than the mark of the beast, quote unquote, aspect, right? Other than that. However, to me, that's quite scary. And not only will you be able to transact with this thing that has been poked and injected into you that you don't comprehend, you don't know what it is, right? I wouldn't. Also tracks your biometrics. It tracks everything, your physical body, everything. Again, the end of privacy. And I get it. Privacy isn't, if you're not doing anything wrong, who cares? Well, unfortunately, No matter what philosophy, whatever political philosophy uh, a person's country is operating, or allegedly operating under, whether it's communism, socialism, Marxism, capitalism, none of those will be successful if there is widespread corruption. Maybe capitalism is a little better, maybe not, I don't know, but none of them work. No political philosophy will work if there's widespread corruption. And we have widespread corruption due to mass ignorance. The masses are allowing this. They're choosing comfortable slavery over the fear of dangerous freedom. And that is what they don't realize, is that they end up losing their comfort, and they only are left with the slavery, and they don't deserve the freedom that they thought they deserved. You can't be comfortable and uninformed and be free. It doesn't work that way. The system doesn't work that way. It wasn't set up that way by our founding fathers. And Thomas Jefferson, and I'm sure others, warned us about this in the quotes that they've given us, or that are provided for us that you can find on the internet. Now, this ID 2020, let me tell you who are some of the characters backing this. The Clinton Foundation, the United Nations, USAID, USAID, I don't know what that is. It's an acronym for something. The Global Fund, and UNICEF. Reading is fundamental. I've heard some, rumors about them. It's just hearsay. But potentially nefarious intentions from these characters. It's certainly potential from anybody. And so, but when you get to a point like these people, where you have so much wealth, which translates to power, which translates to control, there's the old saying that you've heard. I've heard it since I was a kid, and it's called the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And so, picture yourself as an individual worth $10 billion, and just the ramifications of going through daily business of how you attain and continue to attain that wealth. You have an immense amount of responsibility. And so you have this small group of individuals that have all of this power and control, and they have what may be in their minds an altruistic plan. This is the only way mankind can survive, if we kill off 80% of them, or whatever it is they're, and so it's not necessarily, although it could be, as I always say, this grand master evil plan as far as intention. But the intention is quite irrelevant. What's more relevant is the fruition of that intention, or the fruition of, people fighting back, if it's a worthy cause to fight back, right? And so this ID 2020, if they, from what I comprehend, they jab it into you. Wow. Check this out. Doesn't this sound great? E-passports, digital wallets, building access cards, banking information, transit passes, health records, and voter information, all in one place for every person on Earth. ID 2020. It's to the point, guys and gals, and you should take this personally, not from me, from them. It's to the point. If you ever had a pet, You ever had a pet when you're fooling around with the pet, and you're saying, "Oh, you're such a cute little son of a bitch, you stupid bastard. Yes, you're so cute. Yes, yes, you're such a dumb shit. Yes," and they're wagging their tail, and you're petting them. That's what they think of us. That's how they're treating us, and we are not only allowing it, we're starting to demand it because we want our comfort and we want our desires. The last thing we want to do is put ourselves in any danger. Freedoms aren't that important. It's a very, very bad path that we are being led down, just like water, just by the banks of a river control the flow of the current, and the bankers control the flow of the currency. These people, the plans laid out by ones such as this are plans for 1,000 years from now, hundreds of years from now, maybe thousands of years from now. They've got us wondering, what are we going to do tonight? Do you see how we have no shot? We've got no shot in our current state of intellectual being at this point in time, and we need to change. We need to start searching into the boring stuff. Start thinking that it's possible that some very, very horrible things are happening to people, and maybe even some of the people that are doing it have lost their way. I'm not saying they shouldn't be punished, but we are all together. We're all connected. And so you can't cut your nose off to spite your face, so to speak, right? Yeah, you want to get rid of the blackheads, but and so it has to be tempered, and it has to be with love and a mass cooperation, and all done with knowledge, a knowledge seeking in a way that is, think of the most important thing that you'd love to achieve in your life right now. Your dream. That's how much we should be striving to learn these formations that I've been trying to learn. I need you. I'm not smart enough. I'm just not. I've done what I can, and I'll continue to do more. But just me getting my republic and my remedy is, eventually I'm going to become one of them to a certain extent. It's already difficult for me to not be frustrated with people, because not only do they not care to seek these formations, they literally think I'm crazy. And so when you're next to someone and you're looking at a red car and they think you're an absolute wackadoodle because they are convinced that it's a white car, well, conventional conversation isn't going to work. We've been controlled so deeply to be divided and to not think that we have to be strategic about it, I think. And we can do this. We can do this. So that's what I got today. I do have some of my products that I've made there on Teespring, and check them out. Tell me what you think. Give me some suggestions. I'm okay at designing, not great. I'm a novice, but I appreciate you watching, and please like and subscribe. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I guess that's what everybody says, huh? I really appreciate you. Let's do this. Let's start this movement of knowledge, of fervent seeking of correct knowledge, and things will turn around real fast. I'll talk to you soon.